story begins in the penthouse apartment of Princess Lily, a charming little desk by a sun-drenched window. Lily, with her lovely fur and bright, mischievous eyes, is diligently working on her toy laptop. We're not sure if she's watching cartoons about superheroes saving the world or just secretly learning how to hack the neighbor's free Wi-Fi. Tapping away at the keyboard, Lily seems like a promising junior programmer, or at least a pro gamer in the animal kingdom. Suddenly, a soft pitter-patter begins, then raindrops start falling. Lily jumps her round eyes looking out. Oh no, the family's laundry company just hung out a fresh batch of designer clothes, and now they're in trouble. With a sense of responsibility higher than the Banana Mountain peak, Lily doesn't hesitate for a second. She quickly grabs her bright yellow umbrella, her world-saving tool on rainy days, and dashes out into the yard like a flash. The clothes rescue operation is in full swing when another heartwarming scene appears. Several tiny ducklings with fluffy yellow down are huddled together, sheltering from the rain under a tree. They look so pitiful and adorable that Princess Lily simply cannot ignore them. With her heroic instincts kicking in, Lily extends her yellow umbrella, sheltering the little ducklings. The sight of such a tiny monkey holding an umbrella over a whole flock of tiny ducklings is both comical and touching. Surely at that moment, Lily must have been thinking, "Poor little ones, if you don't have an umbrella like me, you'll get all wet." After successfully collecting all the clothes and rescuing the ducklings, Lily carefully brings everything inside. First comes the incredibly thoughtful duckling warming session. Lily gently places each duckling into a warm basket, then carefully dries their feathers with a towel and covers them with a blanket as if she's caring for little newborn babies. Once that's done, she turns her attention to the wet clothes. With an efficient work ethic, Lily uses the vintage fan to dry each shirt and pair of pants. Surely, if there were an Employee of the Year award for monkeys, Lily would be the strongest candidate.
Lily, con làm gì đấy? Làm gì đấy?
Just then, Lily's dad, the exemplary man of the family, arrives home. Seeing his daughter's magnificent project, clothes neatly dried, and especially the ducklings sleeping soundly in the basket, Lily's dad can't help but feel proud. He gently strokes Lily's head, his eyes filled with affection and pride, as if to say, "My daughter is so clever." This moment is truly warm and full of love.
Giỏi nha. Cái gì đó Ly? Cái gì đó? Cái gì Ly? Cái gì vậy? Ôi trời, trời đi đâu đây? Đi đâu này? Ôi trời ơi, dễ thương mà. Đi đâu này? Hả? Có vịt ăn chưa con? Có vịt ăn chưa? Lấy vịt đâu về này? Để xem nào. Ôi trời ơi. Trời ơi, yêu này. Trời ơi, cưng nhỉ? Đi đâu cưng vậy? Hả? Ở ngoài sau đúng không? Dính mưa đúng không? Giỏi lắm. Qua đây ba xem nào. Qua đây ba xem nào. Qua đây. Qua đây lấy vịt xem nào. Thì đừng ngoan nha. Đấy. Này. Bé không? Khô rồi, em khô rồi. Khô rồi. Ba cho vịt ăn nhé. Cho vịt ăn cám nhé. Đi nhé. Nhé. Đưa vịt đây ha. Để đi ăn cám ha. Vịt. Chắc đói rồi nè, em vịt đói nè. Vịt đói đi nè. Ra đây.
The next morning, the story continues with an unexpected turn. Lily's dad woke up early, preparing to go to the market to buy groceries for the family. He quietly left on his familiar scooter, leaving Lily still fast asleep. A little while later, Lily wakes up. She rubs her sleepy eyes, looking around for Dad. Not finding him, Lily seems a bit sulky, but quickly changes direction. With her super intelligence, she automatically opens the fridge and takes out a fresh carton of milk. Then Lily carefully takes her cute little backpack, the one she usually uses for school or outings, and puts it on. Perhaps Lily is thinking, if Dad's gone, I'll just go to school myself or go out and play. The sight of Lily confidently putting on her backpack, opening the door, and stepping outside is just like a model student going to school on her own. Oh! But life isn't always rosy, like in cartoons. Lily, with her curiosity and love for exploration as a little adventurer, went too far. The paths were confusing, and our princess got lost.
Đi là đủ.
Đâu thì ăn 2 đồ đây.
Đủ ngon rồi.
Ôi, 2 đồ đây này.
Dạ.
Thì đã.
Đi lên, phải đi tìm bố à? Có bọn nó nằm đây thôi.
The sight of Lily standing alone on an empty road, her tiny eyes looking around with a worried expression, makes viewers feel both pity and amusement. Surely at this moment, Lily is silently calling, "Dad, save me!"
Ly ơi, đánh nó nào.
Meanwhile, Lily's dad, after returning from the market, couldn't find his beloved daughter anywhere and was in a panic. He quickly realized Lily was lost. Worry was clearly visible on Dad's face. He immediately set out to search for Lily everywhere, down every path, behind every bush. Dad called Lily's name, his heart pounding. Dad's journey to find his child was tense. He didn't stop, he didn't give up.
Ly. Ly ơi.
Finally, after a long and arduous search, Dad found Lily. The moment the two reunited was truly touching. Lily rushed into Dad's arms, hugged tightly. Dad gently comforted Lily, then slowly led her home. The scene of Dad and Lily walking together on the way home, Dad holding Lily's hand tightly, shows the boundless love of a father for his daughter.
Túi xách đâu? Túi con đâu? Hả? Đi lấy túi của mình đi, đi lấy túi đi về, mau lên, đi lấy túi đi. Đi đi, đi túi. Lấy ba lô đi. Ba lô đây hả? Hả? Ủa, ngồi đây hả? Đưa ba lô cho ba nào. Đi đây. Đấy. À, hết đồ rồi à? Hết đồ ăn rồi hả? Hả? Hết đồ ăn đói bụng hả? Rồi đấy, ba đi về nhá. Đi về nhá. Nè. Đi về nhá. Không đi lung tung nữa nghe chưa? Nè. Đứng lên ba lô thế nào. Lên chưa, đi về chưa? Ha? Đi về. Đi. Sao đi? Sao đi đi nhá. Tao đi mua đồ ăn cho đi này ha. Đi cái cây cho đi này. Nào, đó, đúng rồi. Làm đi nhá. Đi kìa.
Lily faces the toughest punishment of her life studying. Lily sits before a thick book, likely 1001 Ways to Climb Trees Faster, or Applied Calculus for Durian Peeling. Her expression bored, as if solving a problem harder than climbing to the sky. Her eyes occasionally dart left and right, full of calculation. Lily's dad, with the serious demeanor of a professor, is enthusiastically lecturing, pointing at every diagram, perhaps a diagram of a banana's digestive system, completely unaware of his students' escape plot.
Đi rồi, cái bài đi nhé, được chưa? Đúng rồi, cái bài đi. Lily, đau bụng hả? Con bỏ bút xuống đây. Bỏ xuống, rồi lại lấy sữa uống đi. Lại thử lấy sữa uống đi con. Lại lấy sữa uống đi con. Sữa uống đi. Lily, ngon nhé. Xong nhé, học bài đi con.
Lily's dad begins tidying the house. He turns his back, the rustling sound of the broom acting as a lullaby for study-hating souls. This is Lily's golden opportunity. She quickly transforms from a diligent student into a true mini-adventurer. With lightning-fast movements, Lily smoothly slides off her chair, gliding across the floor like a ghost. She doesn't forget to grab her pre-hidden designer backpack made of dried banana leaves, and of course her magical yellow umbrella, an indispensable tool for unexpected excursions. The target of her adventure is none other than Bebe the goat with a macho beard and gentle eyes leisurely grazing in the yard. With her legendary straw hat on her head, Lily looks exactly like a treasure hunter entering a mysterious zone. She approaches the goat pen stealthily, like a top-secret agent. The moment Lily sees Bebe, she forgets all her troubles, happily jumping into the pen. Monkey and Goat, two close friends, begin chatting about everything under the sun, from the secret to choosing tender grass to their legendary tree-climbing feats. Lily generously shares her spoils of war from her backpack, a few green bananas, and a limited edition gummy candy. She even climbs onto Bebe's back, holding a small stick as a whip, shouting hee-haw, hee-haw, like a seasoned horse rider. Babe, with his gentle and compliant nature, dutifully carries Lily everywhere, occasionally stopping to snack on some young grass along the way. A subtle smile if goats can smile on his face. Lily's dad finishes cleaning looks around frantically for Lily. Lily, where are you, Lily? His voice echoes through the villa, only to be answered by the rustling of the wind. Dad runs into the yard, his eyes scanning every bush, every tree trunk. The hunt is quite tense. Finally, Dad only finds Lily's straw hat casually lying next to Bebe, while the culprit has vanished into thin air somewhere in the vast garden. Dad sighs, both annoyed and amused, wondering what new trick his precious daughter's up to now. All right, when you get back, I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget. Dad mutters, though deep down he's only worried about her safety.
Lily! Ông có Lily ở đây. Có Lily đây này, đúng không? Đi đâu đây nè? Đi đâu? Lên. Đi đâu rồi? Lên lên. Làm gì vậy? Ăn dưa à? Hả? Dưa à? Dưa không nhỉ?
The story continues with another tear-jerkingly funny situation. Lily, after being caught in the act by Dad for skipping studies, seems to still harbor some resentment. She thinks Dad will leave her behind somewhere, just like those times Dad went to the market without her. So, with her super intelligence, Lily secretly swiped Dad's bunch of keys, determined to hold Dad hostage at all costs. She even carefully threw them into the trash can, thinking it was the safest place Dad would never find them. Lily stands nearby, looking innocent like an angel, but her eyes sparkle with mischief and triumph.
Ủa Lily, dậy rồi hả? Dậy nào đấy? Dậy sớm này. Không ngủ tí nữa hả? Dậy sớm rồi. Không ngủ kia, đi mua gì ăn đi ha. Đi. Đi mua gì ăn nhé. Dậy thôi ha. Dậy thôi. Dậy chặt lại nhé. Đi lại nhé. Đi ra đây, đi ra đây. Nha. Nào. Đi, đi đi. Đi ra nhà. Đây ngồi đây các bạn ơi. Đây đi. Đi đâu đấy? Đi đâu đấy? Đi ở đây nhá. Ngồi đi chơi đi chưa? Phải đi chợ nhá. Ha? Thấy chưa? Để con ngủ đi nhá. Ngồi đây chơi đi ha. Phải đi quá đi chợ đi nhá. Đi quá để đâu đi chợ. Quá rồi. Đi quá cái bàn đâu cả. Chìa khóa ở đâu nhỉ? Linh có thấy chìa khóa của ba không Linh? Ừ? Hello. Mẹ. Dạ. Dạ. Ủa? Đi bàn rồi đi. Ba cảm ơn nhé. Ở đâu đấy? Ở đâu đấy? À, tìm thấy ở đâu đấy? Tìm thấy này ở đâu đây? À, Cho ăn vải Ly. Bây giờ phải cho Ly đi cùng nhé. Phải cho Ly đi chơi với ba nhé. Đi mua đồ ăn nhé. Được không? Đi giỏi. Đi này. Đi mũ nhé. Đi. Đây, mũ này. Mũ đây Ly. Cái túi này. Rồi, ra xe. Ra xe ngồi đi, trên ngồi. Đây các, đây. Rồi, cẩn thận nhé, đi chắc tay ha. Ngã xe chưa? Cái này Ly này. Ra nhà. Ra đây đi. Rồi đi. Em vào. Đồ ăn tới rồi. Bỏ lên. Bỏ cái cây vào đây đi. Đi rửa đấy nhé, ngồi chờ đi. Đi ngồi yên đó. Đi. Xếp lại Ly nha. Đi nào.
Back home, the fruits are carefully prepared by Dad. Lily, always a stylish lady, enjoys her apple and grape slices with a tiny fork, a picture of refined dining. She eats each piece slowly, as if savoring a royal feast. She even gallantly offers a grape to Dad, as if rewarding him for all his efforts. Our story opens with Princess Lily with her sleek fur and sharp, mischievous eyes glued to the flat-screen TV on her comfy beanbag. Who knows if our princess is watching a documentary on ultra-fast banana harvesting or secretly learning the recipe for a secret leaf smoothie? Lily lies sprawled out her face, relaxed, truly chilling, like a TV-watching professional. Suddenly, Princess Lily lifts her head, her eyes shining as if she's just come up with a top-secret plan. Perhaps she's tired of TV or realized it's time for some physical activity. With astonishing agility, our little monkey, Princess, begins to climb the tall yellow refrigerator, aiming for the basket on top. Each step of the climb is full of determination, as if conquering Mount Everest. But life isn't like a dream. The moment Lily touched the basket, it fell, causing a series of comical accidents. Things scattered everywhere, and Princess Lily stared blankly at the battlefield she had created. After a moment of wide-eyed astonishment, perhaps contemplating the impermanence of objects, or hateful gravity, our princess began to roll up her sleeves to clean up at trying to pick up each scattered item. Just then, Lily's dad appeared. Dad saw the battlefield and his clumsy daughter, but instead of scolding, he smiled and patted Lily's head, praising her for being diligent, though a bit messy. Princess, Lily encouraged, hugged Dad tightly, as a sincere thank you. This was probably Lily's tactic whenever she wanted Dad to comfort her.
Thấy chưa? Thấy chưa? Xem còn rớt đâu nè, kìa kìa. Kia còn cái này kìa. Chưa? Đấy đấy đấy, đúng rồi. Còn đây không? Kia đi kìa. Đấy, đúng rồi. Rồi đi ba nào. Đi đi. Đi này. Bạn làm cái đi ăn nhé. Nào đây. Rồi, bạn đi. Đi vào. Đây vào đây. Ta làm cái đi ăn nhé. Làm cái ly nhé. Rồi bắt đầu cái ly ăn nhé. Bí cái khoai cái cà rốt nhé, được không? Ta rửa nhé. Lily nhé.
After the reluctant cleanup princess, Lily decided to show off her talent in the culinary arts. Wanting to help Dad prepare dinner, Lily's dad began chopping carrots and squash. Lily eagerly entered the kitchen, standing next to Dad, sometimes even trying to learn by mimicking Dad's chopping motions, even if it was just chopping air. Dad smiled and gently guided her.
Ở đây nhé.
Lily genuinely helped Dad by voluntarily picking up the chopped vegetables and placing them into the bowl. She worked enthusiastically, like a zealous sous chef, showing immense team spirit, even if she sometimes picked up peels or dropped a few pieces. Lily's dad patiently watched his daughter, sometimes having to quietly pick up the dropped vegetables.
Kia đi con. Kia luôn. Kia luôn. Đây cứ đi. Đây. Bỏ kia đi con. Đây đi. Đây đi. Đây đi. Làm một cái đồ thấp nha. Rồi. Có cái này nha. Con xem hả? Con xem nó kỹ hả? Thầy dành ngon nhé, này nhiều sướng nha, chưa? Chúng ta cho thêm tí màu đỏ vào đấy nó đẹp nhé, được không? Đấy. Bây giờ mình bỏ này vô nhé, này, bỏ này vô đây ha. Đấy, đi ăn cái nào đi bỏ vô nhiều vào đó nhé.
After preparation, Lily's dad put all the chopped vegetables into a hollowed out pumpkin, perhaps a special mixed vegetable pumpkin stew for the family. Lily also enthusiastically helped Dad by gently pushing the vegetable pieces inside, as if packaging a gift.
Đúng rồi, đấy đi con, đấy đi. Đúng rồi, nhiều chưa? Nhiều chưa? Nhiều chưa? Đúng rồi, thế đó đi. Vào chưa? Cà rốt hả? Tí đấy cà rốt. Tí cà rốt hả? Thằng thông minh hả? Cà rốt. Bí. Trắng là khoai, cà rốt, đúng rồi. Bây giờ đi xem nhé. Giờ mình hấp nhé. Đây này, đây, cầm này đi, đây là pin này. Cái này mình làm cho nó còn bị bung nhá, nó còn tuột ra thấy không? Đó, cái đóng ở đây. Rồi, qua đây coi.
The dish was placed on the stove, and both Dad and Lily patiently waited. While waiting, Lily couldn't sit still. She climbed onto Dad, hugging him tightly like a human sandwich. Lily's dad just shook his head and smiled, then hugged his mischievous daughter back.
Đúng rồi. Đi vào nhà đấy. Đi vào nhà đấy. Đúng rồi. Đây này. Đi lên cái gì đấy? Cái nhà đúng không? Rồi đi.
The food was ready. Lily's dad carefully scooped the food onto a plate and served Princess Lily. Our princess sat grandly in her chair, holding 2 forks, one for herself, one to tap for fun, enjoying dinner in a fancy manner, just like a young lady dining at a high-end restaurant. Princess Lily's utterly content expression while eating delicious food was truly adorable. She ate heartily occasionally, looking at Dad as if to say, Dad cooks the best food in the world.
Từ từ đi, từ từ nóng. Nóng. Để tí nhé. Nóng rồi. Xem nè. Ăn nhạt mít đi này. Ăn này. Sai rồi, sai rồi. Nè. Đây, đây. Ngon không? Ngon không? Không có hả Ly? Dễ đúng rồi. Em nóng nè. Em nóng nè. Được đấy. Không ăn hạt này à? Không ăn hạt này à? Không ăn này. Không ăn này. Ăn đi.
A Long Day of Love. The story of Lily and Dad. Super detailed version. Dawn gently knocked, bringing with it the first playful golden rays of sunlight, softly illuminating the small room where little Lily was still deep in a sweet slumber. Lily lay there, a tiny precious being, curled up beside her soft brown teddy bear, a faithful companion in all her dreams. Her small hands clutched the beloved toy tightly, as if finding absolute comfort and protection. Lily's breath, even and gentle, was like a soothing melody of life. Her long eyelashes fluttered slightly, perhaps she was dreaming of vast fruit orchards or joyful chases. Lily's sleep was so deep and peaceful that it seemed no sound could disturb her. In another part of the house where life had already begun its daily rhythm, her tall friend, her dad, a man with a calm demeanor and affectionate eyes, had started his day. The soft sound of running water echoed from the bathroom. regular and gentle, signaling the gradual start of daily routines. Lily, after being enveloped in the warmth of the large bed, perhaps sensed the stirrings of the morning shifted slightly, her tiny eyes peeking open, then closing again, trying to cling to the last moments of her dream. As the sun's rays grew bolder, casting bright, radiant streaks across the floor, Dad entered the kitchen, beginning the task of preparing breakfast for his little daughter. From the familiar refrigerator, Dad carefully took out a few plump sweet potatoes, their skins still fresh with a hint of earth. Dad's hands moved deftly, gently peeling away the thin outer skin, revealing the golden sweet flesh within. The steady sound of a knife echoed as he cut the sweet potatoes into even small rounds, perfectly sized for Lily's dainty mouth. The early morning kitchen soon filled with the simple, comforting scent of earth and the natural sweetness of the potatoes. The carefully prepared pieces were then placed in a neat little pot, a bit of water added and set on a low flame. Soon the fragrant aroma of boiled sweet potatoes, a rustic yet captivating scent, wafted through the kitchen, permeating every corner like an enticing invitation. Dad patiently waited for the potatoes to cool slightly, then used a spoon to mash a portion of the cooked potatoes in a small bowl. His hands worked with patience and skill, transforming the pieces of potato into a smooth, golden, lump-free mash. This delicious mashed potato was then lovingly mounted onto a pristine white porcelain plate, forming a pretty little mountain. The yellow of the potato stood out beautifully against the white of the plate, looking truly appetizing. To keep the dish warm and hygienic, Dad carefully covered it with a small food cover, the kind with tiny ventilation holes. Finally, the small plate holding so much care was placed neatly on a tiny wooden table painted in bright colors. Beside it was an equally tiny chair, a dining set seemingly custom-made, showcasing the meticulous attention to detail and boundless love Dad had for Lily. While Dad was preparing Lily's sumptuous breakfast, he didn't forget to get ready for his own outdoor work. He stepped out into the yard, put on a long-sleeved shirt to protect himself from the sun and insects, and then his familiar cap, looking energetic and healthy. Perhaps Dad intended to get some gardening done while waiting for Lily to finish her meal or to give her some private time to enjoy her food. He leisurely walked towards the small, simple wooden shed at the end of the lush green garden. Dad opened the wooden door and took out a long-handled hoe, a familiar farming tool. Then Dad began his usual work, clearing away the stubborn weeds that were trying to overrun the vegetable beds and tilling the soil to make it looser so the plants could grow better. The gentle morning sun shone down on Dad's diligent back, tiny beads of sweat forming on his brow, creating a truly simple, peaceful, and respectable scene of labor. Sometime later, when the enticing aroma of sweet potato had filled the entire house, waking even the soundest sleepers, Lily, now dressed by Dad in a clean and well-fitting little outfit, began her new day. Perhaps she was awakened by the captivating scent of her favorite food, or simply because it was her usual mealtime that Dad had accustomed her to.
Mở đi nha.
Lily trotted into the
Được
living
chưa
room
hả?
area,
Nhìn nó
her
đều chưa nha.
round, clear eyes looking
Yeah,
around
được chưa?
innocently
Yeah.
as if searching for something. And then, like a natural reflex formed over many days, she headed straight for the tiny dining table, reserved for her skillfully and gently seating herself in the little chair. With the help of a tiny fork prepared by Dad, Lily began to enjoy her nutritious breakfast. Each mouthful of the soft, golden mashed sweet potato was carefully lifted and slowly brought to her mouth. Her adorable, chubby cheeks moved faintly. With each chew, her eyes half closed as she savored the sweet, rich flavor of the food. Lily ate leisurely, without rushing, as if appreciating a culinary masterpiece. After finishing her delicious breakfast, Lily left the dining table and began her journey of exploring the familiar yet always new space within the house. She moved from one room to another, her steps light, her restless eyes constantly observing everything around her, like a tiny explorer, searching for hidden secrets. Then, as if drawn by some invisible force, she stopped by the large, clear glass door that looked out onto the lush green garden. Outside, under the bright golden sunlight, Dad was still engrossed in his gardening work, hoeing the soil, pulling weeds. Lily stood there motionless, pressing her small face against the cool glass panel. Her intelligent dark eyes never left Dad's beloved figure, intently following his every gesture, every movement. Perhaps she was silently cheering Dad on, or simply finding joy and reassurance in watching him work. After standing quietly observing for a while, Lily resumed her aimless stroll in the spacious living room area, where there were many objects for her to explore. Suddenly, Lily's eyes landed on a whole-cooked sweet potato that Dad had set aside, and a pretty little wicker basket, round-mouthed with a handle often used for carrying odds and ends. A mischievous idea flashed in the little but active mind of the tiny explorer. She quickly used her nimble hands to pick up the sweet potato and the basket. Then, with surprising agility, Lily scampered onto the higher kitchen counter, where she perhaps felt safer to keep her treasure, or simply wanted a better vantage point to carry out some secret plan. After a somewhat risky and clumsy jump from the high counter to a lower section of the kitchen counter, she found her familiar straw hat, her favorite accessory for outdoor excursions. Lily immediately picked it up, and with a few deft movements, she managed to put the hat on her head quite neatly, fully equipped like a genuine little farmer, a straw hat for sun protection, and a wicker basket in hand holding a sweet potato. Lily confidently set off with her small but determined steps out of the house, walking through a grove of lush green banana trees laden with fruit, their broad leaves spreading out like giant fans. Her little feet pattered quickly on the familiar path, the cute straw hat tilted on her small impish face, the wicker basket swinging with each rhythmic step, heading straight for the garden, where Dad was working hard under the sun.
Ủa Lily, làm gì vội vậy? Lily, giờ về đây. Lily, làm gì con? Sao vậy? Đâu? Sao lại bắt xe nào? Trời, coi bắt xe nào. Đi đâu về đây? Đi đâu về mà lau mắt? Hả? Đi đâu về mà lau cái này đây? Đi đâu về con? Đi đâu về đây? Hả? Hai trái cây hả? À, con đi ra vườn về hả? À, rồi đưa bà xem vào bôi nhá. Đây hả? À, con lấy cái này hả? À, đưa đây bà cầm cho. Đây nhá.
Upon arrival, Lily didn't play any pranks or disturb Dad. She obediently found a shady spot under a tree, sat down beside him, and silently watched Dad work. Her eyes followed every swing of Dad's hoe, as if learning, as if sharing his toil. Occasionally, Dad would pause his work for a moment, turn to look at Lily with affectionate eyes. He would take from the basket, Lily carried some pieces of sweet potato that he had peeled earlier, and gently feed his little daughter. The scene was truly peaceful and heartwarming. Lily got to eat her favorite sweet potato, and she got to accompany Dad in his work. All around them was the lush green of a passion fruit vine, heavy with fruit. Dad continued to feed Lily sweet potato. The wind rustled through the leaves like a gentle background melody to their father-daughter bond.
Đây ha. Rồi. Xe này. Đi bắt xe này. Này không sao ha. Này thì ra tí nữa ha.
When the gardening work was temporarily done and the sun had climbed quite high, Dad decided to take Lily to explore newer things. The two of them left the garden together. Lily, still carrying her little basket, now continued her exploratory journey, venturing into a denser, more overgrown area, where the paths became wilder and more mysterious. This time, the little explorer's destination was an orange tree, heavy with fruit, the golden orbs peeking out from behind the dark green leaves. With the nimble instincts and innate climbing skills of a primate, Lily, without a hint of hesitation or fear, agilely gripped the rough tree trunk, using both hands and feet to ascend. Soon, Lily was high up on a branch amidst a forest of ripe oranges. She personally selected the tastiest, largest oranges, then sat perched on the branch, leisurely enjoying the sweet, cool, fragrant taste of the first prize she had harvested herself.
Thôi bà chở đi khám bác sĩ nhé, đi mua thuốc cho Ly nhé, được không? Được không? Đi. Mưa cẩn thận Ly nhé.
Having her fill of the delicious fresh oranges, Lily skillfully climbed down from the tree, continuing her journey of discovery with the basket in hand, crossing a lush, green, knee-high grassy field. Then she spotted another interesting thing, a guava tree, or a tree with large green fruit also in season. And once again, Lily's superb climbing skills were impressively demonstrated. She climbed the tree with ease. Lily even performed an impressive feat of hanging upside down from a branch, one hand gripping firmly the other, skillfully reaching out to pick a plump, round guava. After harvesting a good amount of fruit into her basket, she was no longer in the tree, but found a new challenge to showcase her courage and agility, balancing on an old tree trunk that had fallen across the path. The wicker basket full of fruit was still carefully held.
Hay quá thầy, có túi chứa thức ăn nó hay quá thầy.
Cắt xong tí nữa ăn.
Trang về nè, đó, đúng rồi, yeah, giỏi, Ly giỏi quá, Ly giỏi quá. Dễ thương quá. Ô dĩ thì huấn luyện được cũng giỏi hết.
Kìa nhé.
Anh làm cái này.
Not stopping there, she proceeded to conquer yet another old tree trunk, nimbly jumping and moving from branch to branch before gracefully leaping to the ground.
Rồi, con thấy cái ngồi nè.
Resting on the
Đây ngồi.
log, Lily adjusted her straw hat neatly, her small, intelligent face beaming with pride, and a touch of the mischief of an explorer who had just successfully completed her mission. Concluding a morning packed with outdoor exploration and harvesting, Lily carried her basket laden with her achievements, perhaps the oranges and guavas she had just picked, and trotted back towards her beloved home. She quickly entered the house. Lily obediently went to her familiar little table, carefully placed the fruit-filled basket down, and then took off the straw hat that had accompanied her throughout the morning. Afterwards, perhaps, feeling a little tired, she leisurely walked towards the soft yellow beanbag chair placed in the corner of the room.
Hai bên luôn nha. Rồi, không sao Ly nhá. Mai nó khỏi rồi. Thấy không? Nè. Đó, ba lau cái ghèn cho Ly nữa này, thấy không? Đó, ba chấm tí mai khỏi rồi, thấy không? Đó. Đấy. Đây ha. Ôi trời ơi. Rồi, xong rồi. Rồi, cho bạn nắp nè. Ôi trời ơi. Đây. Ôm Ly hả? Ôm Ly hả? À. Ôm Ly hả? Ngủ nhé. Nhé. Con ngủ ngoan nhé. Ngủ ngoan lúc nào hết rồi. Hết đau rồi ba chạy đi chơi nha. Chạy đi cà phê ha.
Meanwhile, Dad had returned to the kitchen, perhaps to prepare for the next meal or to clean up what was left from the morning. Lily, after resting at the table for a while, or perhaps after taking a short nap on the beanbag chair, resumed her stroll walking down the cool hallway, then found her way to the soft bed in the bedroom. She gently climbed onto the bed, which perhaps offered her the greatest sense of safety and comfort. Lily's mischievous eyes suddenly focused on a small, pretty red and white box placed on the bedside table. With her inherent curiosity, she reached out, using her small but nimble hands to open the box and see what was inside. She walked around on the bed, perhaps looking for a comfortable spot to play. Then Lily found another small object, blue and white, perhaps a favorite toy or something else that caught her attention, and began to play engrossedly by herself on the large bed.
Sao Ly? Hả? Sao đâu nhé. Đi đau bụng chưa? Hả? Đau bụng chưa Ly? Đi từ đây nhé.
Just then, Dad walked in from the hallway, perhaps hearing a small noise or simply because it was time to check on his little daughter. Lily was still on the bed, absorbed in her toy. Dad gently approached the bed where Lily was playing. He looked lovingly at his little daughter, his eyes filled with affection. Then softly stroked Lily's soft fur. Dad's hands carefully and gently examined her entire body from head to toe like a daily care routine. It seemed Dad noticed something was not quite right with Lily's eyes. Perhaps her eyes were a little red or had some discharge. With the concern of a father, Dad took a clean cotton swab and a small bottle of clear liquid, and then very gently and carefully wiped around Lily's eyes. Dad's movements were full of tenderness and patience, trying not to scare or discomfort his little daughter. Lily was also very good. Although she might have felt a little unaccustomed and wanted to shy away slightly, she eventually lay still for Dad to take care of her. Dad's sincere affection and concern for Lily were evident in every gentle gesture. After Dad had carefully attended to her eyes, Lily seemed to feel much more comfortable and at ease. Dad picked Lily up along with her cute straw hat and carried her back to the living room area, to the familiar little dining table that had been part of so many of Lily's meals. Dad placed the basket full of fruit that Lily had harvested herself during her morning adventure on the table. Lily looked at the golden oranges and plump guavas still fresh in the basket, her eyes brightening, perhaps reminiscing about her exciting trip and her sweet rewards. She picked a piece of fruit from the basket and began to nibble, savoring it. The camera focused on Lily's adorable, innocent face as she ate. Not long after Dad came out from the kitchen, carrying another plate of fruit this time, various green fruits that Dad had peeled and carefully sliced, looking very fresh and appetizing, and placed the plate in front of Lily.
Đây kìa, cái này ở đây đi. Đấy. Ở đây đi. À, đó. Được chưa? Sao đi? Đó. Cảm ơn Ly nha. Nha. Rồi để bà cắt đi nhá. Cái này nhá. Nè. Vào đây nhá. Bây giờ bà nghỉ tí nhá. Đi kiếm gì ăn đi ha. Được chưa?
With her familiar little fork, Lily happily enjoyed the nutritious dessert prepared by Dad himself. After eating, Dad didn't rush off to do something else, but sat down next to Lily, perhaps watching her play with her little toys, or simply both father and daughter enjoying a quiet, peaceful moment together. A little later, perhaps feeling a bit full and starting to get tired, after an active morning, Lily sought out her favorite soft yellow beanbag chair, a royal throne of sorts for her in the house. Lily curled up in the chair, her eyes beginning to droop, half-closed signs of sleepiness, clearly visible on her small face.
Đi ra ngoài chơi tí không? Đây đi. Xin tố. Đi đi. Rồi nha. Đây nha. Đây ha. Ở đây Ly. Cái ổi nha. Cái ổi nha. Này, sữa chua này. Đây sữa chua nhá. Cà phê này. Đây này. Sữa chua này. Cho một cái thôi nhá. À. Đây này. Đây. À. Đây. Sữa chua này. Đây, đi đây ha.
Dad came over once again, gently and carefully, checking Lily's eyes, ensuring everything was all right. A close-up of Dad meticulously cleaning Lily's eye. Then, Dad held her in his arms, softly stroking her fur, comforting her, as if lulling his little daughter into a peaceful afternoon nap. Suddenly, it seemed an urgent matter needed attending to, and Dad had to go out. He gently put Lily down, then quickly got ready. The scene changed, moving outdoors. Dad was seated on a small motorcycle, his usual mode of transport. He started the engine, rode out of the sturdy iron gate of the house, the motorcycle rolling along the village road, still slightly damp perhaps, from an overnight rain or a sudden morning shower. Dad's destination this time was a small building that looked like a pharmacy or a veterinary clinic. Dad carefully carried Lily, now kept warm and secure, inside Dad's thick jacket, and went inside with her. There, Dad spoke with a woman in a white coat, perhaps a pharmacist or medical staff, who was standing behind the counter. Dad explained Lily's condition, his hand never leaving his little daughter, occasionally glancing down at Lily with worried eyes. After listening to Dad, the woman took out a few items, possibly eye drops or medication, wrapped them carefully in a small plastic bag, and handed it to Dad. Dad took the bag, carefully placing it inside his jacket, with Lily ensuring everything was safe and secure. He then bid farewell to the woman and quickly left the pharmacy, got back on his motorcycle, and rode back home. The trip, though short, was filled with a father's concern. Upon arriving back at their familiar, peaceful home, Dad gently took Lily out from his thick jacket. She seemed a little dazed after the trip. Back in the room, Dad took out a small white package from the plastic bag, perhaps the medicine or medical supplies he had just bought. Dad again had Lily sit comfortably and still in her familiar yellow beanbag chair, and then with utmost patience and skill, administered a few drops of medicine into his little daughter's troubled eyes. This task required meticulousness, gentleness, and immense love, as not every monkey would cooperate when having eye drops applied. Lily seemed a little uncomfortable and squirmed slightly, but then perhaps sensing Dad's gentleness, she obediently allowed Dad to complete this important care. After all the medication was administered, perhaps the afternoon rain had just stopped, leaving behind a fresh, cool atmosphere. The plants in the garden outside looked even greener and more vibrant, full of life. At the end of the day, as darkness gradually fell and cool breezes began to blow, Dad brought Lily back to her warm bed where she had started her new day. Dad carefully tucked her in with a soft pink fleece blanket, ensuring his little daughter wouldn't feel cold during her sleep. But Dad didn't leave immediately. He lay down beside Lily, his protective arm around her small body, softly humming a lullaby or whispering fairy tales in her ear. Dad's warmth and comforting presence slowly lulled Lily into a deep, peaceful, dreamless sleep. The video concluded with an incredibly serene, peaceful, and touching image, a close-up of Lily. Sleeping soundly, her innocent, pretty face nestled against Dad. A long day, filled with so many activities and worries, had passed, leaving only unconditional love, tireless care, and an unspoken bond between the devoted father and his tiny monkey daughter. It was the sweetest and clearest testament to a special friendship, a family relationship that transcended species differences, warming the hearts of viewers.
Đúng rồi đấy. Đấy. Ừ. Này Ly cắn đi. Cắn đi. Đúng rồi đấy. À đúng rồi, Ly giỏi đấy, đúng rồi đấy. Ly cắn đi. À, Ly cắn rồi kìa. Ăn là nhanh nha, ăn là giỏi quá. Bỏ đi, cái này bỏ đi. Đây này. Cắn đi, cắn đi. Này. Đó. Cắn đi. Cắn đi. Đúng rồi đấy. Đó, cái ngon nhất, đúng rồi. Này, lấy hạt cắn đi. Này. Cắn đi. Đúng rồi đấy. Đây. Đúng rồi, biết lựa các em là đúng rồi. Cắn đi. Đúng rồi đấy, Ly giỏi lắm. Đúng rồi, lách cái đấy ra, đúng rồi, lấy cái hạt. Đúng rồi, đây này. Đây, cái bỏ này nè. Này. Được chưa? Cắn cái này đi. Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, giỏi lắm nè. Nè. Đây nha. Đây không? Ngon không? Thôi chơi rồi. Giỏi. Rồi nè, cho tiếp đi.
The sky was clear blue, the sun shining brightly, a beautiful day for outings. The man's familiar motorbike slowly entered the frame, but what particularly caught the eye was an incredibly adorable passenger, cute little Lily, sitting neatly in the basket at the front of the bike. Lily, with her soft fur and bright, nimble eyes, seemed quite used to such trips. She sat steadily, occasionally glancing around to observe the scenery passing by on either side of the road. When the motorbike stopped, the man gently lifted little Lily out of the basket. Their destination was a small roadside shop selling all sorts of fresh fruits and other essential goods. The atmosphere in the shop was somewhat bustling with buyers and sellers. The man held Lily in one arm while selecting goods with the other. Lily nestled into her tall friend's embrace, her round eyes curiously observing everything around. the colorful shelves, the customers passing by, and the woman smiling from behind the counter. The man approached the counter where the woman was busy weighing items. He placed little Lily on the counter near a scale and some baskets overflowing with fruit. Lily appeared extremely interested. Her tiny hands gently prodded the plump, ripe apples, then curiously peeked at the dark purple bunches of grapes. Meanwhile, the woman quickly selected the freshest, tastiest apples and put them into a clear plastic bag. Perhaps Lily also participated in the selection process. Wherever her gaze lingered, the man would politely point it out to the shopkeeper. The presence of this special customer seemed to bring a bit of cheerful atmosphere to the entire shop. After buying all the necessary items, the man paid. Then, with one hand carrying the bag of fruit and the other affectionately holding little Lily, the two friends walked back towards the parked motorbike. Little Lily was again carefully placed in the front basket. But this time, there was a more interesting detail. The man took out a tiny helmet, perfectly sized for Lily's head, and carefully placed it on his passenger. The helmet, though small, looked very sturdy, demonstrating the man's care and awareness of safety for his special companion. With Lily cutely wearing her helmet, the motorbike started rolling again, leaving the shop and joining the flow of traffic on the street. Soon they arrived at their familiar home. The man turned off the engine, then gently carried little Lily and the heavy bag of fruit into the house. The atmosphere inside the house was much quieter and cozier than the hustle and bustle of the market. Lily, perhaps a bit tired after the trip, was allowed to roam freely indoors. She explored the living room, then found a cardboard box on a table and promptly jumped onto it as if it were an ideal observation post. From this self-made throne, Lily could see the man busy in the background, diligently washing a pile of dishes left over from a previous meal. The sound of running water and the clinking of dishes created a familiar symphony of daily life. Occasionally, Lily would lift her head to look towards her tall friend, her eyes shining with an expectant look. When the kitchen chores were temporarily settled, the man approached the table where Lily was sitting. He took the freshly bought fruits out of the bag. The fresh, cool aroma of apples and grapes filled the room. With a small knife and a wooden cutting board, the man began to prepare a light meal for Lily. Each apple was carefully peeled, cored, and then sliced into thin, bite-sized pieces. The plump, juicy purple grapes were also separated from the bunch and washed clean. Lily sat right beside him, her eyes never leaving the man's skillful hands, intently watching every movement. Perhaps the aroma of the fruit had stimulated her appetite, making her even more eagerly anticipate the treat. After finishing the preparation, the pristine white apple slices and plump round grapes were beautifully arranged by the man on a pretty little wooden plate. He smiled, picked up little Lily with one hand and the plate of fruit with the other, and then they both moved to another corner of the room, where there was a small table and chair set specially designed to fit Lily's size. Little Lily was placed neatly in her chair with the colorful and tempting plate of fruit in front of her. The man...
Đi bỏ xuống đi. Đi bỏ xuống đi. Đúng rồi. Này cho dành nha. Này con bỏ xuống này. Đó, đây này. Bỏ xuống. Đây đấy. Đúng rồi. Đi nha. Đây mình đi đây. Nè. Dạ. Đi ăn đi nhé.